Donald and Elon start slapping each other on social media like teenage girls fighting over a hairbrush. Jerry, the liberal thought leader and walking corpse in a suit, just announced that if we don't let illegal immigrants flood across our borders, your avocados will die. This is his argument. Not security, not fairness, not compassion. Nope. He's here to protect the lettuce. We're not even allowed to call them rioters anymore. They're undocumented arsonists with lived experience.
Find the colors, find the light. In the gray, we'll find our sight. Brutal banner, fearless words. Shadows creep, streets look hurt.
Welcome to Stay in the Gray podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and I'm here to bring you raw conversations about life and those undeniable human truths. We dive into the chaos, one issue at a time, blending comedy, controversy, and the unexplainable. Get ready for transparent ideas straight from the gray areas where most answers are hiding. So stay curious, stay inquisitive, please stay laughing, stay in the gray. Come check it out. We'll see you there. Hey guys, it's my favorite show. They really said that again. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and I feel like every day there's more stuff and more issues that bring on more stuff that said by people I do not admire. So kick back and enjoy. Here we go. Today I got a buffet of delusion. Got a fat activists, frat whisperers, Democrats openly calling migrants fruit pickers, reparations for 104-year-old ghosts, and riots that are so peaceful they just happen to involve arson. Just when you think the circus couldn't get any dumber, Donald and Elon start slapping each other on social media like teenage girls fighting over a hairbrush. It's June 9th, 2025. Welcome back. Let's roll. I'm just going to jump right in. Take a look at this.
I spent a lot of time on college campuses, and I spent a lot of time with
young men.
I love young men. I love frat guys. And in that, I realized, like, even the ones that identify as conservative are almost always pro-choice. They're almost always pro-gay marriage. You'd be surprised at the number of them who supported Black Lives Matter. And so I feel like people just kind of lump them into this box when the truth is, again, a lot of them are with us on the issues. They're just not part of our coalition because they feel like they're not welcomed in it.
Really? That's Miss Olivia Julianna. She's some sort of lefty lunatic activist who has somehow gained some viewership on her platforms. And of course she loves frat guys. I mean, who wouldn't? Beer bongs and protein farts, backwards hats. I'm guilty of that. They just scream progressive empathy, don't they? She claims they're mostly liberal on the issues. Really? You're basing that off what? Two dudes who nodded while trying not to look at your name badge? You think frat bros are up at night debating climate equity, systemic wage gaps? Nope. They're pre-gaming to Joe Rogan clips and Venmoing $14 to a girl named Kelsey, who still hasn't texted back. And let's be honest, they're telling you what you want to hear, Olivia, because they think you work for the dean, for the cafeteria. Here's another one from Miss Julianna.
If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So Gen Z, let's take our seat in our democracy.
Some people might think that wasn't very nice to play. But maybe you don't reference food, Olivia, or tables, or menus. You're not helping yourself. If anyone should avoid culinary metaphors, that would be you. Next time, just say, get involved, and spare us those buffet visuals. Look, there's nothing wrong with confidence, Olivia, but this whole routine where you try and rebrand yourself as the liberal frat whisperer is like me claiming to know what it's like to be a 23-year-old drag queen in Portland. Just no. You're not invited to the pregame. You're not converting anyone. And you're not at the table. You're being humored politely by dudes who are just trying to graduate and party. Next. How about Democratic Rep Jerry Nadler? Has anybody ever heard of this guy? Well, I have now, so take a look at Jerry.
And we need immigrants in this country. Forget the fact that the farm, that our vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many immigrants, many illegal immigrants.
Yes, everyone, he just said that. Jerry, the liberal thought leader and walking corpse in a suit, just announced that if we don't let illegal immigrants flood across our borders, your avocados will die. This is his argument. Not security, not fairness, not compassion. Nope, he's here to protect the lettuce. According to Jerry, these migrants offer nothing else. Not culture, not skills, not innovation, just manual labor. That's what he said, clear as day. They are, in his words, the farmhands America can't live without. Now pause and imagine. Just imagine if someone on the right said this. If we don't bring in illegal immigrants, who's going to pick our crops? They'd be called racist, dehumanizing, treating people like field animals. But when Democrat says it, it's just economic reality. Bro, this man just turned the immigration debate into a glorified chore chart. And even if that were the case, does it justify breaking the law and being here illegally? Are we just throwing the Constitution in a wood chipper because Jerry's worried about produce dying alone in a field? This might be the dumbest hill I've ever seen someone try and die on. Let him break the law, otherwise the tomatoes might suffer. Here's a thought. If your national strategy is built around illegal labor, maybe the problem isn't crossing the border. Maybe the problem is you. Next. Another person I hadn't really heard of, and I don't claim to know every senator, mayor, congressperson in the country. It'd be very difficult to do. But this mayor of Oklahoma, Monroe Nichols IV, has made a little bit of headlines from something he said a couple days ago and something he's been working on. I'll just play the clip for you. Here's Monroe.
Imagine a city without the massacre. Imagine if Greenwood would have continued to thrive uninterrupted. Imagine what that would have meant for our economy. Imagine what it would have meant for outcomes for our children. Imagine what it would have meant for public safety, and most importantly, imagine the trust and faith we would have built in each other over these last 104 years. I'm announcing that my office has been working alongside our legal department on the establishment of the Greenwood Trust, a private charitable trust that will raise and facilitate the investment of $105 million in private funds along our road to repair, restoration, and righteousness.
Okay, so those of you that don't know what this is, basically there was an incident in 1921 based on race, and streets were burned and things like that, which is horrible. But all of these things he's offering to do, or he's doing now. So, yeah, education grants, scholarships, housing support. They're bold ideas. Revolutionary stuff. In 1964, Monroe is selling 60-year-old policies like they're hot off the press. Because if you wrap it in historical trauma and call it reparations, suddenly you're a moral architect. Never mind that these exact programs exist right now in every failing metro in the country. You want a test case? Let's take a stroll through Minneapolis. How about we do that? The city burned in 2020. We all know that. Billions in damage. Police precinct torched. What came next? More community grants, more housing support. You know what didn't come back? The businesses, the jobs, the trust. Take a field trip with me to Chicago. Billions spent on equity grants, education access, housing aid. Yet somehow, the public schools are war zones and the murder rate looks like a third world conflict. How about Baltimore? Years of federally funded uplift programs. dozens of nonprofits. The literacy rate is so bad that the kids are graduating high school unable to read. We've tried this Monroe model before, and it doesn't repair anything. It just launders guilt through a checkbook and hopes that nobody notices that the city's still on fire. And let's not forget, this isn't even about helping people today. This is about atoning for 1921. Because obviously there are folks walking around today in Tulsa in 2025 who are still emotionally wrecked by something that happened 104 years ago. You know who isn't getting reparations? The business owner whose shop got looted in 2020, a cop who got a brick in the face during mostly peaceful protests, the victims of modern brutality, real-time destruction. No scholarships for them, no housing initiatives, just silence. Where's your voice for that, Monroe? Where's your outrage over the present? Now, there's LA. Literal war zones during riots. Again. Protests, though, right? They're just protests. Same blueprint. Pour more money into community revitalization programs while dodging any conversation about law and order or actual results. But sure, Monroe, keep preaching about the sins of 1921. Meanwhile, how about Cory Booker? He's out there telling us this time that the riots aren't that bad.
The reality is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles. And again, any violence against police officers should not be accepted. Local authorities can handle that. But remember, a lot of these peaceful protests are being generated because the President of the United States is sowing chaos and confusion by arresting people who are showing up for their immigration hearing.
Oh, Cory. Mostly peaceful. You know who else is mostly peaceful? A serial killer on Laundry Day. Cory Booker gets on camera, speaks with that trademark I just read a James Baldwin quote on a coffee mug energy, and tells America, relax, the local cops got this. Do they? By the way, I'm not sure why these people are waving the flags of the country they're trying to avoid going back to. It's beyond me. But yeah, totally under control, Cory. Cops look like they're in good shape. And if by control you mean targets on fire, some dude in a hoodie just ran off with 40 pairs of Nikes and a stolen Prius. And the punchline? Booker blames Trump. That's right. He says it's Trump's fault for daring to arrest illegal immigrants. What? You mean the president enforced immigration law that caused people to flip over cop cars and torch 7-Elevens? It's like saying your house burned down because the fire department didn't bring snacks. These people treat criminals like misunderstood poets. Every time there's chaos, they point fingers to the people trying to hold the line. We're not even allowed to call them rioters anymore. They're undocumented arsonists with lived experience. That leads me to one of my favorites. I don't know how this man hasn't been run out of his state yet, but let's talk about Governor Gavin Newsom of California. The man, the myth, the hairstyle. Dude, your city's literally on fire. Not where you are, of course. You're in the north, LA. Police are being attacked in the streets. Looters are treating Rodeo Drive like Black Friday at Foot Locker. And what do you say? Immediately, it's Trump's fault for sending in the National Guard. Take a look.
I wonder how you would characterize the events that are unfolding in Los Angeles right now. Is it an emergency? Is it Fox News is calling it the LA riots? Is it a peaceful protest? What's happening and what are you seeing?
Well, I mean, look, Donald Trump has created the conditions you see on your TV tonight. He's exacerbated the conditions. He's, lit the proverbial match. He's putting fuel on this fire ever since he announced he was taking over the National Guard. An illegal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act, and we're going to test that theory with a lawsuit tomorrow.
Oh, Yeah, I'll let you know how that's going to go. You can't make this up. According to Newsom, the real problem isn't the rioters. It's the people trying to stop them. And it gets better. He says, sending in the guard fueled the fire. Yes, Gavin, because before the National Guard showed up, everyone was just peacefully protesting, roasting marshmallows, and singing John Lennon songs with each other. Let me remind you. Yeah, looks under control. This enrages me to see these videos. It's a bunch of animals. It's like they're looking for a reason to just be animals. And no, Gavin, you let the chaos fester. You let illegal criminals brutalize cops and destroy businesses. And when someone with a spine tried to restore order, you cried about the Constitution. And I don't even think you know what you're talking about. This man really said it was immoral to enforce the law. Newsflash, Gavin, it's your job to deploy the guard. It's your job to protect your state. But instead, you're tweeting like a middle schooler in a turf war. Check this tweet out. As you can see here, he says, Trump supporter czar is threatening to arrest me for speaking out. Come and get me, tough guy. I don't give a damn. It won't stop me from standing up for California. And the video he posted is basically him saying those exact things. Where to start? Come get me, tough guy. What is this, the West Side Story? Are you going to dance fight the border czar in a parking garage? You're supposed to be a leader. This isn't leadership. It's cosplay. It's Gavin Newsom playing resistance hero while his state collapses around him, like a bad Netflix dystopia. You know what fuels the fire, Gavin? Letting rioters run wild, letting criminals stay illegal, and letting cowardice wear $400 gel in his hair and pretend it's brave. You're trash. Next. All right. Well, I couldn't do a show call. They really said that without speaking on Elon Musk and Donald Trump and this little hissy fit that they have going on between them. A billionaire ego war is basically what I'm calling it. The whole digital circus is rooted in tax credits. Trump guts the electric vehicle incentives in his energy bill. Musk throws a fit, calling it a disgusting abomination. And suddenly it's World War III between two of the most powerful voices on the right. We got two billionaire kings at war over the loss of $7,500 subsidy per Tesla, while the rest of us are busy worrying about inflation, borders, and global chaos. Then it escalates. Check this out. Elon tweets that Trump won't release the Epstein client list because he's on it. You can't make it up. There it is. Time to drop a really big bomb. At Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. He really said that. It's right there. Except it was debunked immediately by an Epstein attorney. Trump was never a client, never on the list. But facts don't matter right now during an ego meltdown. So how does Trump respond? Well, as we all know, it's Donald. He comments on a video saying that the following: that totally was a Nazi salute that Elon did, by the way. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. In case you missed it, I should have been better prepared. There's a clip of Elon giving a speech, and he does a gesture that was simply him pressing his hand to his heart and pouring it out to the crowd. Everybody knows that now. Donald, I think Donald's just being funny here. I don't think he really believes that it was a Nazi salute. Is it clever? Sure. Is it necessary right now in this country? Probably not, Donald. But it's not a joke that he said that. Billionaire tech CEO points at a crowd, just like so many on the left accused him. Trump took the opportunity to make that jab, just like all the lefties did. And this is where we are. Two guys that should be building our future are busy nuking each other over Twitter drama. Lastly, this is where I think that it went too far. Some dude named Ian Miles Chong. I looked at his work and it's not impressive. He posted something on Twitter, or excuse me, X, not long after. The president versus Elon. Who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him. And Elon Musk reposted it with the comment, yes. In a sense, calling for Trump to be impeached. Not a jab. That's not a disagreement. He's talking about impeachment over policy differences and Trump holding out the EV part of it. Way too far, Elon. I'm sorry. You don't nuke the one guy who's actually stood up to the machine because your subsidy got cut. And here's the part that stings. Elon is doing good for this country. He's fighting censorship, exposing media corruption, and he's dragging AI in the right direction. But we voted for Trump, Elon. We need borders closed, energy booming, schools fixed. We need a federal government that handles these things. We don't need billionaire slap fights that divide the one group of people actually trying to save the country. This ends now. Please get in a room. Talk like adults. We need both of you, and we don't have time for this crap. I'm sincerely hoping that a lot of the theories that are out there, a lot of the, what do you call them? Conspiracy theory, that you two are sitting there laughing your asses off at the entire world, analyzing this hissy fight between you two. Please be the truth. At least get to that point where you can continue to have the left think that this is the greatest thing in the world, and then maybe you can get back to where you need to be. So what have we learned from all this today? From Frat cosplay to fruit picking talking points, ghost reparations, to peaceful fires. It's clear these people have lost the plot. But we haven't. We see through the slogans, we see who's actually breaking things and who's too scared to stop them. So until they stop saying dumb shit, we'll be here, and I'll keep giving it to you every single time. So stay questioning, stay laughing, stay in the grave. Love you guys.
Feel this word, shadows creep, screams of hurt.